It's that time again. Welcome to the Nourish Spot Hour here at Caribbean Buzz Radio. And today I have a fabulous guest, and I feel so fortunate and grateful that my Rolodex worked again. I have Uncle Ralph, but to you, he's Ralph McDaniels. He is the host, well, he was the originator of VJ.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
With Video Music Box. Now, I'm gonna date myself, I don't really care. You know, we began hip hop. I don't know about y'all,
Yes.
you youngins, okay? We began hip hop, okay? It started here in Queens and the Bronx, okay? Together. And so I saw Ralph at the library where he now works, and he'll talk to you about that. And I asked him, would he come on the show? Because he has a lot of great things going on at the library. And I thought he would be a perfect guest for me coming back off of hiatus. So before we get started, I just want to tell you that the Nourish Spot Hour is brought to you by the Nourish Spot. And we are open now. We're located at 10705 Guy Arbor Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens. And we're open to 7 p.m. Go on in there and allow Sebastian and Amina, two young high school students from Jamaica, Queens.
Nice.
Go in there and show them some love.
Put in work.
Yes, we're putting all the kids to work. So with that, I want to say thank you, Ralph.
Thank you for having me.
You just made my show all
Excellent.
special. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And I really want to get started first with what you got going on in the library, and then we'll go back and talk about, you know, how you came to this point. But I know that that's very important, what's going on at the library. This week, September 19th, I think it is. Yes. So let's start there, okay? Let's start with one. What's your title at the library? What you doing at the library?
My title was Hip Hop Coordinator. So as a coordinator, you know, there's a bunch of coordinators that some people deal in, you know, in children, you know, programming, adult programming, formerly incarcerated, you know, I kind of deal in that side as well. Okay. But for me, it's hip hop, and this week, September 19th, Thursday, usually our program's on Thursdays, and we have a thing called A Cypher in Queens. It's a tribute to 3 fallen hip hop artists, Fight from a Tribe Called Quest, Prodigy of Mobb Deep, and Jam Master Jay of Run DMC. And the reason why I wanted to have it was I saw it in another park outside, in a park in Astoria, and it was, these statues were 9 feet tall.
Wow.
And I was like, who did this? You know? And a young brother named Sherwin Banfield, he did it. Actually, he had showed it to me as miniature before it was up. And I said, yo, man, you know, when you finish here in the park, I want to bring you to Queens Library. And he was, oh, yeah, I'll be on it. I said, okay, we're going to have you there. We're going to do programs based around it. This Thursday, the opening event, we're going to have Fife's mom, who's a poet. Wow. She's going to come and do some poetry. We're going to have Jam Master Jay's oldest son, Jason Jr. He's going to come and DJ. And Sherman's going to talk about sculpture and art and creating images that, you know, reflect what we look like, you know. And I think it's very important, especially in the gentrified Jamaica Queens area, that we not forget where the culture came from and why Jamaica Queens is still cool.
That's true.
You know, and so yeah, so we're gonna have a great program. It's gonna be there for 6 months. There's gonna be other programs. We're gonna talk about diabetes, which is what Fife had passed from. We're gonna talk about sickle cell anemia, which is what Prodigy had, and gun violence. And gun violence. You know, we talk about that on the regular. I visit the prisons, through the library. You know, we have in the Queens area, we have libraries inside the prison, so you know, the brothers and sisters can get books and do whatever they need to do. And very often we go in and talk, you know, or bring other people in to talk. So yeah, so we touching on all those bases.
So now you said Queens Library. I think there's what, 62 libraries.
62 libraries in Queens. So
which one is this event?
This event is at the Jamaica. It's actually called Central Library. Okay. So 89-11 Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens, right off Jamaica Avenue, between Jamaica and Hillside. And you can go to our website, QPL NY, and you can find out more about Queens Public Library.
Okay, and the event starts what time on Thursday, September 19th?
6 p.m.
Okay.
Goes to about 8:30. Library closes at 9. So
Okay.
Goes to about
8:30.
8:30.
All right, well, I think that's wonderful. And you all of you people that are out there and profess to love hip hop, come on, go to the Queens Public Library and support this event. So we'll come back to that. I want to go back and talk about you and how you got started in this game and how, if you think about it, did you, in your wildest dreams, think that your journey was going to take you to the library, right? When you started as a VJ back at WNYC?
Yeah.
Tell me, let's talk about that. How did you get started?
Well, I started out, I'm originally from Brooklyn, born in Brooklyn, and then my family moved to Queens. We moved to Queens Village. And at that time, you know, it was only a few black folks when we first moved out here. And so we were into what we were into. I went to high school in Queens. I remember hooking up with Russell Simmons. We lived not too far. Queens Village and House right next to each other.
Exactly.
And Russell was giving he was giving parties. And I was a DJ, and he was like, yo man, I need you to DJ Ralphie, I need you to DJ for this.
Okay.
And you know, and we would shop here in Jamaica on Jamaica Avenue, and you know, buy, you know, sneakers and whatever we was getting at that particular time.
Right.
And so I saw the beginning of the music business. First of all, I was a lover of records, so I would come to Jamaica Avenue to buy records.
Right.
Records.
Right, because we had actual record stores on the avenue, you go to the crates.
Yes.
I remember, you know, it was the 90s when the last one closed.
Yeah.
Because I was working at York College,
Oh.
and there was one right down the block on God Brewer.
Yeah.
He was the last one weekend, he's gone.
Yeah. So you know, that was also a place where we would congregate. All the people that were into music, or you were a promoter,
Right.
or you know, you just were into something. You would go to the record store and kick it, you know. And I miss that about record stores. You know, it's not just about the vinyl. It was about
The community.
The community.
Right.
And so that was my beginning of getting into the music business. Then I started to DJ, and then I saw Russell starting to talk about making records. And I was like, you know, and this is one of the most interesting conversations I ever had with him. And I said to him, he gave me a rap record. It was like it wasn't something that was big or anything like that before he made records.
Okay.
And I said, well, why would people buy this? We do this every day in the park. You know, and he looked at me for a second, and he said, because everybody's not coming to the park.
That's right. Everybody can't get to the park.
Right.
That's the truth.
So my vision was about like this. His vision was like,
Young, right? Yeah.
And so once he said that, I said, okay, got it. And then I started to go to other places outside of, you know, Queens and see where this music was being played. And you know, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, so I spent a lot of time going back to my grandmother or just going to Brooklyn in general. Then started going to Manhattan. Then eventually one day, me and my friend David DMX, he was one of the early guys signed to Columbia Records, really kind of taught Russell how to make records.
Okay.
Dave said, let's go to the Fever.
In the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And you know, and so we went to the Bronx and we saw, you know, this whole hip hop. And now, by this time, I'm really into the music already. I was going to like places like the Paradise Garage to hear the great Larry the Band DJ and just see that whole camaraderie in the village.
Yes.
The village opened my eyes to all different types of people.
Music, right?
Music.
Yes, because the garage was something. We talked about that the other day at the Nourish, about how the garage was eclectic.
Yeah.
Because we all could go there and enjoy ourselves.
Everybody could go, you can enjoy yourself, and you heard rock and roll records,
Yes.
you heard reggae records, you heard things that, you know, that you might not, people in Queens, I don't know about that.
Right.
But over there,
You heard
they was jamming to it,
It's
you know.
true.
And so, so that was the beginning of my journey in the business.
Okay.
And then I went to college in Long Island, New York Institute of Technology, got a bachelor's degree in film and TV, got a job working at this TV station, NYC TV, Channel 31.
Oh, okay, so that's it.
That's
Okay,
how
so
I
you got the
connected.
job
Yeah.
there. Okay.
I was an engineer. You know, I basically was the guy, you know, doing mics and lighting and all that kind of stuff. And then I would look at the channel, and it would say at the end of the station, public broadcasting. And I was like, well, this is for the public. How come I don't see no black programs on here? How come I don't see no Latino programs on here?
Okay.
Caribbean programs on here?
Right.
And so, you know, I went downstairs and was asking this question innocently.
Oh, educated man, asking questions.
And so, you know, the white people looked at me like, you trying to start trouble. You know, and I was, but you know.
No, there's no change made out of a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so I said, you know, I would like to do a show. And what kind of show? I don't know. But I would like to do something. Okay, well, when you come up with the idea, you're going to come on back. Okay. So one day we got these tapes in, and it was from Solar Records, which is the same label that put out like The Whisperers and Shalimar, all these 80s R&B groups. Okay. And these tapes came in, and I put the compilation together and said, here's the show. And they said, well, what's the cost? I don't know. And they said, okay, no problem. And 2 years later, they said, you want to do a show? And I said, yeah. And 1983, we created Video Music Box, and that's when it started.
Wow, 1983. How many years ago is that?
36.
Wow. Well, I gotta give you a big clap for that. Because you were before your time,
Yeah,
right?
I was young. You know, I tell people, like, I was 21 when this came about.
Right, but you were 21, you were ambitious, you were creative, okay, and you wouldn't take no for an answer, right? You wanted to do something
Well, I came from that. You know, I think in the area of Queens that we grew up at, you know, there was middle class, quote unquote, black folks who, those parents had jobs, they went to college, or one of them went to college. You know, we had to show and prove. Like my mother said, like I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to college. My mother was like, you going to college?
Right, you have no choice.
Right. You know, any little extracurricular thing, you gonna do that.
Right.
You gonna do this. They got jobs down there. Go down and get a job.
Right.
You know, so we were pushed by our parents to do more.
Exactly.
You know, and so it was my responsibility now to spread that same message out to their audience.
So 36 years ago, you all heard this, 36 years ago, a 21-year-old man decided that he wanted to make a change because the television that we were watching, there were people looking like us doing the things that we did, doing the things that we loved. And so he took a chance, a risk.
And I didn't know, I knew how to put together, you know, whole microphones and put up lights. But I didn't know anything about making a TV show, which is two different things.
Okay.
There's the technical side and then there's this side.
The production side, right.
And you know, so I was like, okay, let me see what we can do. So in the beginning, you never saw me, you just heard my voice. Right. Because I didn't know how to do anything more than that.
But you know what, I think it's still good because, you know, we teach, I know I teach my children and I'm sure they teach them in colleges and high schools around here that it's important to take risks. Of course, educate risks, but it is important to take risks. And it's okay to not know everything. You gotta try. And then the other thing is you have to surround yourself with people that might know how, right? And the people that are on your side, so that they'll help you, they'll teach you, and they'll encourage you when you may fail. And you know, you don't have the energy or the will to keep going, right? So I think that that's wonderful. So now, they tell you yes, you put the show together, what happens next?
The show was on, I remember I was on the train, I lived in Brooklyn at the time, and I was on the train coming from going from Flatbush to Manhattan. It's a pretty long ride.
It is.
And so I got on the train, and these guys, like maybe 3 or 4 guys, are standing on the train. In the beginning, nobody's on the train. And not until about 4 or 5 stops, the other people start getting on the train. Right. And they were grilling me, and I'm like, I'm about to get robbed. So I'm like this, like, all right. Train keeps riding, people get on, they still looking at me. So when I went to get off, the TV station was on Chambers Street in Manhattan. Okay. And I went to get off, the guy said, yo, you doing a TV show? So I said, yeah. They were like, yo, we be watching you, man.
Oh.
So all that, I said, why you don't even say that 20 stops ago, man?
All this time I was wondering how
black man, they be like, you know, it was all that. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, and so that's when I knew that people were watching.
Right.
And then I said, one of the record companies asked me, well, so what are your ratings? And at that time it was a Nielsen rating. Right. And I was like, so I went to the station and I said, what's our Nielsen ratings? And they didn't have this, and we don't have no Nielsen ratings. Okay. There's nothing, it's zero. Right. So I said, well, how do we know? How do we get that? Right. So they said, well, we have a book. Let's look at the latest book. And they opened the book, and most of the shows had nothing. And I had a 0.1. Wow. And I was like, that's something. Right. So I thought it wasn't working. I said, it works.
Right.
So my whole goal, and I looked at other shows that were in my time slot.
Okay.
And my whole goal was, I think by the late 80s, no, like mid 80s, Oprah was on.
Okay.
Oprah was number one in our time slot.
Okay.
And I said, if I could get second to her, that would be
Big,
right.
yes.
So I became second in my time slot to Oprah. And she was like a 4.3, I was like a 3.1.
That's big.
And so that was like, I was like, you right behind Oprah, myself.
That's right. That's big. That's big. So now, how long on WNYC did the show run before MTV came?
Yeah. So we went to MTV in 1986 and said, hey, you guys should do a hip hop show. And they were like, well, Middle America's not really into that. You know, they're still into rock and roll. You know, they were into, MTV was into rock and roll.
Right.
Middle America was into
hip hop, right.
You know, because Run DMC was out, Eric and Rakim was out.
Right. And they were out with what Aerosmith, they were out with, all those collabos was
but it
going
was
on.
young.
Right.
The young people were into it.
Right.
And MTV wasn't ready to swallow that yet. Just to roll until they rock and roll. Because it was starting to rock.
Right, exactly.
And they were like, last thing we want to have is these black boys up here.
Taking over. Right.
So they weren't ready. So, you know, I said, I disagree. You know, there was a concert here called the Fresh Fest in New York. It was in Long Island at the Nassau Coliseum. And I went to the show, and this was a minor opener for me, was there was white people, Asian people, Latinos, blacks, Indians, all know the words to Run DMC, LL Cool J, Houdini, Flash. It was so hip hop became like this a group of one that people all were into. So you were into it or you weren't.
Or you weren't.
Right.
Sure, right.
And I said, no, there's a lot of people out there. They're not just kids from Jamaica or South Bronx.
Right.
Let's stop.
Right.
There's some other folks that is into this thing.
Right.
And they were like, no. So in 1987, they started doing TV back a year later.
Okay.
And so all my friends were like, yo, MTV got a rap show. How can they get you? Yo, this is gonna be a problem. And I said, no, it's not, because it's commercial hip hop. Me, I'm going to these clubs in the Bronx, in Jamaica, in Brooklyn. Like, I'm in there with
At home, you get the organic stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
our thing is totally different.
Right.
They're not gonna go as deep as I'm gonna go.
Exactly.
Or play the newer artists like I'm gonna play.
Right, because they're gonna play the established people,
Yeah.
people that everybody has heard.
Yes.
You're going underground. You're bringing the new people to the forefront. Right.
Some of them didn't even have videos. They'd be like, no, I don't have no video. All right, come meet me outside. Perfect example is the group X Clan. Brother J and Professor X from X Clan. Their father was Sonny Carson.
From Black Panthers.
Right.
Okay.
And activist in Brooklyn. And he goes, yo man, we got a group. And I said, okay, he goes, well, send me the video. We don't have no video. I said, meet me outside the back of the station. And he just went in and started just doing this thing. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. First time he ever said it. So I'm putting music about it.
Wow. Okay.
So I just thought it was so cool and it was so powerful that I played it in between videos.
Okay, like a
little,
like a commercial almost. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Promo. And so all of a sudden, people, who is this group? Is this a group? And I said, yeah. I said, oh man, y'all gotta make some records because people asking about y'all.
Right.
And eventually, Island Records called me and said, we want to give them a deal. I said, you should. They're super popular. They need some money to go record, and they'll be good. So
not only, so what you're saying right now is not only were you the first pretty much to bring our music, our creativity to the broadcast screens, but you also were involved, and I would say not just involved, because of you, some people actually got deals.
Absolutely.
That's big.
Wu-Tang Clan is the
Wow.
There's a documentary out on Wu-Tang right now called Nights and Minutes on Showtime.
Okay.
And they have also a show on Hulu. So movie.
Yeah.
And the series.
Right.
And Wu-Tang RZA came to me. I knew him from, he had done some other music in the 80s. came to me late 80s and early 90s and said, man, I got this group called Wu-Tang. I was like, what's that? You know, what's Wu-Tang? Right. Gave me the video and it was all this
Right, craziness, right?
Stuff,
right.
And all this other stuff, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's something. And he said, will you play it? I said, I'll play it. He didn't have a record video yet. He did all this on his own. And I played it, and Loud Records called me up and said, hey man, you know, we're starting a new label. The guy, I knew him, he was a promotion guy. Steve Rifkin said, yo, you know, I want to think I'm going to, you know, sign Wu-Tang. I said, you should. Same thing I said, like.
You should. You need a shirt that says you should. Yeah.
And so, and then they got the deal, and then RZA came back to me and said, yo, Ralph, yo, you know, I want you to direct the video for me. And I said, which one? And he said, Cream, Cash moves everything around.
Right.
They sent me music, Cream. I said, this is awesome. I want to do this.
Okay.
And so we ended up shooting it in Staten Island, Park Hill, and Stapleton, Staten Island. And that was it. They were gone. They were history.
Wow, that's amazing. I gotta do a shameless plug.
Yes.
You are watching the Nourish Spot Hour on Caribbean Buzz Radio. I'm Dawn Kelly, and I am the CEO of the Nourish Spot, a healthy food and beverage haven here in Southeast Jamaica, Queens. We're located at 10705 Guy Arbor Boulevard, and we're open now, waiting to nourish you. Come on by, and if you can't walk in on your own, you can contact one of our delivery app partners. We have DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Postmates, and am I missing one? I think that's it. So come on, allow us to nourish you. We do smoothies, salads, sandwich wraps, yogurt parfaits, we got herbal teas, we got wheatgrass, ginger, and turmeric shots, all the things that you need to be healthy. Now with that, I also want to tell you guys that I'm going to be honored at the Douglas King, this is it, the Douglas King Political Action Club on September 28th. They are going to be honoring myself, Jonathan Ager, Chris Alexander, June Bunch, Barbara Clements, Jovita Cooper, Sean Francosi, and me, Dawn Kelly. It's going to be at Thomasina's, and the tickets are not too much. They're $85. We're selling the tickets at the Nourish Spot. We hope that you come by. Ralph, I'm going to give you an invitation. If you or the library can support us, we really appreciate that. And so we're going to go back and talk to Ralph some more because I'm excited to have him today. You know, I'm going to tell you what I thought about today. I thought about the time when I was working at York. And I don't know what you and I were working on. We had some kind of project and we were running around, driving around all over New York City. You remember that day? I said, I have to remind Ralph about that. I don't know what we were doing, but we were all over the city that day.
The journey, right?
Yeah, getting stuff done.
People see the end result, but they don't see the journey.
Yeah, the work that we put in to get to these seats, because it wasn't easy. And then I would say this too, you know, we're both young people from Queens, but you know, you started in Brooklyn, I started in Harlem, but we're from Queens. Our parents brought us here, and my parents were 19 and 20 when they had me, so you know, they didn't have a lot. They struggled. They struggled and they toiled and they worked hard to get what they had, and I was watching, you know, and so I knew that I had to work hard, like we were saying earlier. I had to get out here and get on my grind and do whatever I could do, not only for myself, but also to make them proud, right? And to make my community proud. So I am proud of what I have been able to navigate and put together up till this day.
Well, when I see you, I always know that it's professional.
Thank you.
That's important.
Thank you.
You know, we deal with certain things, we just deal with it, you know, okay. But I know when I see you, it's going to be a professional situation.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's because me and you go way back. So let's talk more. So now you at the station, you know, you actually blowing up acts, right? Because if it wasn't for you, they would not have made that next step, you know, to become Wu-Tang Clan, you know, become X Clan. So now, how do you decide what you're going to do next? Because you were 21 when you started, but of course, our lives changed. So how did you make a decision about what was next?
Well, I think for me, myself, and my partner, Lionel Martin, who we didn't mention, but he was also part of the team of Video Music Box in the beginning. He went off and said, hey, we were sitting around one day, we were like, look, we think the videos could be better that we're playing.
Okay.
And we said, how about if we started making the videos? And at that time, videos were shot in film. And I said, you know what? I don't know anything about film. I went to school for TV, but not for film. It's a totally different thing. And so he said, I know some guys that can do film. So we hired them. We started a production company. We started doing all these videos. Tyrone Williams from Cold Chiller Records gave us our first shot.
Wow,
We did all the Big Daddy Kane videos, all the Biz Markie videos, all Roxanne Shante.
Okay.
So I did Roxanne Shantae's video 30 years ago.
Right, and you ended up in her movie too, didn't you?
I'm the producer
Oh, that's right, yes.
of a movie for Netflix.
Yes.
So, which is crazy. The executive producer saw Roxanne Shante on my show as a kid.
Okay.
She called me up, she said, Rob, I'm thinking about doing a movie about Roxanne Shante. And I said, you should.
That's your favorite job. That's your favorite line. You need to show that on the show.
And so she went out and got the deal done. Executive produced by Pharrell and a couple other folks. And boom, and Shantae's story was out.
Yes,
One of the most watched Netflix clips from last year.
It's true.
So,
and that movie was good.
yeah,
I mean, it was.
Be Along.
It was so good. It was. I'm trying to come up with the word. It felt like home, right? Because my parents, when they left Harlem, our first stop was Ravenswood.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I lived right there, and I'm not that much older than Roxanne.
Yeah.
So I remember all of that,
Yeah.
okay? Yeah. And then to see songs that, like, we used to be in the park, hooking up the speakers and stuff to the light posts, and I mean, I remember all of that, okay? My nickname was Spice back then, but anyway. And I remember us dancing with Roxanne and all that, and then to come full circle and see her on TV, that validates us.
Yes, absolutely. And just her journey, and I know, like a lot of stuff I didn't know until we made the movie.
Right.
I was like, what? You were going through all of this?
A lot, yes, a lot.
Because she was for her age, she was mature.
Better.
Like, she was like 16, but she looked like she was 19 or 20.
She had to deal with a lot.
Right.
Yes.
And so anyway, that story, is, and the other part of that was the executive producer on that, Mimi Val, that wanted to, she wanted to make sure that, we start telling more women's hip hop stories.
Yes, because there's not a lot of women in hip hop anyway, and the ones that are in there, they're extraordinary.
Yes.
Right.
So that was the beginning of her starting to place that and it did well.
And they tell it from the woman's side, right? Not necessarily from a man's side. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a different story that you would get if you tell it from a man's perspective versus a woman's perspective.
Absolutely.
So now the production company, so we're talking about your laurels now. So first is Video Music Box, there's the production company, so then what's next?
So at that point, I said to myself, look, we have to, do other things. So we started doing movies. I worked on Juice.
Okay.
Tupac.
Okay.
I was an associate producer on that. Commercials, we started doing anything, like I did, just weird commercials for things that it played, and we just got paid to say our name on it.
Right.
And we did over 60 videos. No, I'm sorry, over 600 videos.
Wow!
And
600 videos, did y'all hear that?
Yeah, from SWV.
Okay.
To Stevie Wonder, Whitney Houston, all of these artists that, outside of hip hop.
Wow.
And we started to see that, we were pretty good at it.
Right.
And so that gave us the opportunity to again bring in other people. So we wanted guys like Hype Williams.
I think we have mental telepathy, because I was just getting ready to say, so you also must have been a mentor
Yes.
to many of the young cats that have come up behind you.
Yeah.
And the one I was getting ready to say was Hype, because Hype was another Queens phenom.
Yeah, I used to
Okay.
pick him up, you go on 95th, I think he lived in.
Okay.
And say, yo, come on, let's go.
Okay.
And we would go drive to set, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Alright.
And then we drive him back home, drop him
Wow.
off, and then
And look at him too now.
Yeah.
Wow. I think, listen. You know, I rap Harlem because I was born in that hospital, right? But I'm gonna tell you, the Queens clique is nothing to laugh at. Like, we really did our thing out here. You know, Lincoln Boulevard, that 4 bus.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I can remember when we used to be riding past. Remember, what's his name? James Brown used to have that house on Lincoln Boulevard.
Yeah.
Like, the musicality
Yes. Incredible.
of Queens is incredible.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, and it
so many.
started with like Cab Calloway. We had Irving Turner. I mean, and then it moved up, and we had LL Cool J, Run DMC. I mean, now we got 50 Cent, we got Ashanti. Yeah.
All these guys, all these people that were influential, and Queens to me is like, before they make a move, they kind of observe everything. They're very observant and figure it out. Like,
Yes. Strategic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, and I watched it with Damon John. You know, like he came to me. You know, actually, his partner came to me. He worked with my mother.
Wow.
And so he said, my mother says, there's a guy that works with me. He has a clothing line, and they want to be on the show. So it's my mother calling me. So I said, no.
Exactly. We're not gonna tell mommy no, right?
So boom, here comes Keith, Damon.
I've got the other guy's name. And I was with Leslie. Remember Leslie? And I was with Leslie just the other day, yeah.
Yeah. And they all came and they sat in the office and they laid out what they had on the table and we talked down, what's the name of this? And they were like, food. I said, what does that mean? They F-U-D-U, for us, by us. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's powerful.
It was. It was because it was ours.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I said, oh, okay. And where can you find it? Everywhere. They have it right here on the big ad. Damon always laughs.
But he was in the bed.
Right.
And he still does. Yeah.
And so, and he's somebody that I brought back to the library. We actually did that when we were in college. I brought him into that.
Okay.
Because I wanted people to know, even people at the library didn't, I said, well, Ralph, you do hip hop. I said, he's a product of hip hop.
He is.
Hip hop clothing that he made.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
Exactly.
Because hip hop is not just the music, it's the clothes.
It's the culture. It's everything. Yes, everything.
And so and you said the culture. We can't forget that this is all, there was a culture here before you commercialized.
It's true.
You know,
it's
there
true.
was something, even with any kind of music, you know, it was rap. Yeah, but there was the dancers, and there was the graffiti artists,
Right.
and there was the DJ,
Yes.
and you know, the promoters and the flyness.
It was everything. It was the girls with the earrings.
Yeah.
Come on, LL said it, right? Yeah, it was
It's
everything.
all part of every culture.
Right.
So so you know, a couple of years ago, I was looking around and saying to myself, you know, we talked a little off camera before about universities
Yes.
and teaching.
Yes, I did ask you. So I want to tell you guys, you know, Ralph's my friend, so all my friends that are out there, you all call me your tour mentors because you know I'm always trying to push you into doing more and more. And I did ask Ralph off camera, why isn't he teaching? Because he should be in somebody's university teaching about hip hop. Okay, hip hop is a genre. It's something to learn about. It's changed the world.
Yeah.
Hip hop has changed the world.
It's got hip hop all over it. You know, you look at Martha Stewart and Snoop. You know.
Oh, that is amazing. Okay, that's amazing.
And she's down.
She sure is. Yes, of course she is. And I think it's amazing. So let me ask you a question. For all those young people that will watch this show, give us 3 things that you think that they should hold tight to as they're out here trying to navigate their dreams and as they're out here hustling towards, you know, their objectives and the things that they want out of life. Give them 3 or 4 things that you think that they should hold tight to as they maneuver towards those things.
Well, I think the first thing is you want to do your homework on whatever it is that you're trying to get into. You know, if it's music, if it's sports, if it's medicine, whatever it is. Business, you know, you want to start a business, you need to know what it takes to start a business. And you know, some of these things I wish I had done, because I didn't know anything about, I was culturally into it, but the business side of it, we made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
Because we didn't know, oh, we got to pay taxes, oh, we got to do this.
Right.
Well, these are the things.
Right.
But so, learn about business first, if you want to get into business. Take some business classes, or go to a seminar, and listen to people talk about it. Take all that information in. One is, and the other thing is be focused. Come up with cool stuff that you can see it out there, right? Not just something in your mind that your friends are going to come up and you have 10 friends and this is cool. And that might work too, but look at it how it works in the marketplace.
Exactly.
You know, like put it out there and see, okay. Most of the time, in my case, I came up with something that didn't exist, which is difficult.
It's true.
If it doesn't exist,
You blaze the trail.
yeah,
Right.
nobody believes because they haven't
Because
seen
you've
it.
never seen it before.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a rough one to get through, but if you're not going in that way, pick something that is popular and, you know, do something different, but pick something that you can say, hey, it's like this, but it's not like this, and change the words on it. Make sure that it's something that is marketable. And then, you know, you're gonna have to believe in yourself. You know, at some point, family members are not, and usually true in the beginning, family members don't believe in what you're doing. Like, look, just go to school, just do this, just do that, do this.
Preach.
Yes, they're the first ones to shut it down.
It is true.
And these are the people that are closest to you, so it hurts, you know? And so you just have to go, okay, and just keep on moving and keep on walking through it. And you're gonna make mistakes, but they're not gonna be that bad if you really truly believe in it and you're passionate about it. I've been passionate, and still today I'm passionate about it. You know, I can see, when I walked into the library, they didn't wanna do that. You know, they were like, okay, what it is, or their interpretation of what hip hop was
Exactly.
not what my interpretation was.
Right.
My interpretation was hip hop culture,
Right.
which is everything.
Everything.
Yeah. And so I had to change that mindset. I'm not a librarian. I don't consider myself to be in that world of, you know, of scholarly people. But, you know, I'm smart hip hop.
You sure are. You sure are. You're an encyclopedia of hip hop. If you want to know anything, call Uncle Ralph. He knows. Not only does he know the people, he knows the times, he knows the places. So for real, if you need to, you know, especially, and I would think about, like, if somebody was writing a script about hip hop,
right.
Yeah, they need to have you sitting on the side, so you can say, it happened on this day, it was there. Oh, they did? Okay, good.
What year was it that? What month?
So now maybe, I don't know if they do encyclopedias no more, but who knows? Maybe you need to think about doing some kind of hip hop encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Because that might be a good idea.
You know, library, we could get libraries immediately.
Exactly, you'll be in all the libraries. So that might be something for you to think about, because it is something that people will study. You know, just like we study now, rock and roll from way back, right? People will study when we're no longer here. They're going to be studying what you did, so you might as well have your name on a book or
So
something.
that was the whole idea of me doing the Queens Library. So that's my you know, interpretation of, you know, doing something on a teaching level.
Okay.
Is let me bring it into the library. Let's document it. Let's bring in some of the guys that were growing up when I was coming. They might be my age or might be a little bit older than me. They didn't make a record.
Right.
They didn't get that opportunity, but they're the ones that influence Run DMC. They're the ones that influence LL. They're the ones that influence 50.
Right.
You know, let's bring
Ja Rule, like there's so many people from here.
All these people.
Lost Boys,
Yeah.
yes.
And so let's bring them in now while they're still here and they still have their mind and they can tell their story.
Exactly.
And you know, and so let's get at least audio. Okay?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So that's what we started doing.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Come in, tell us your story. And
Oh my God, the Beatles, right.
We wanted to be accurate.
Yes, so you get it from the mouths of
Right.
them, okay.
So some people, this is how you learn that
Okay.
some people's story wasn't that accurate. Like they were way off.
Okay.
And
Because you're the encyclopedia. So wait, that didn't happen there.
So
It's
I was like,
like,
well, I don't know. That you sure the year, right? You know,
right.
And And so we had to, learn how to get that right.
Okay.
And so we bring people in sometimes a group of 10 or 20.
Okay.
It might be, like one of the people that influenced me was my friend, we called her Puppet back in the day, named Pauline Mills.
Okay.
And that was Russell's girlfriend back then.
Okay.
And so she was always, when Russell was doing an event, Pauline would be the person you talk to, because
he was busy.
Russell, he'd be like, yeah.
And never do it.
Never do it. So he'd go to Puppet, and Puppet would go like, okay, Ralphie, I got you, you're gonna do this. And so she was always on point,
Okay.
And so, and she was into the business side.
Okay.
She enjoyed the music, but she saw the business side too.
Right.
And so we brought her in, and she was so happy to tell she has a career now, doing something else.
Right.
But she was so happy to come in and talk with some of the guys.
Right, and also to tell your story. I mean, because I would say this. Especially when you've been so impactful in life.
Yes.
Somebody needs to know,
Yeah.
right? You can't die with that information, right? And I think that more Black people need to tell their story, because what we do is go, nobody wants to know.
Right.
But there's somebody that needs to know the story in order to help them go after whatever it is that they want in their life.
Yeah.
They need to know that somebody that looks like them tried and failed, tried again and won. Like, they need to know those. I have a friend that always says, and I know she didn't make it up, but she says it all the time, you make your mess your message. And there's a lot of people that are out there looking for the messages that we can deliver. So I want to talk again about the cipher in Queens.
Yes.
You're going to have that at the Queens Library. The address is
8911 Merritt Boulevard, Central Library, or you go to Queens Public Library's website. But it's this Thursday, September 19th, and 6 p.m. to 8:30. Going to be an awesome program, groundbreaking for us to do this in the library, and we're doing it in Queens.
Thank you so much. And listen, you are watching the Nourish Spot Hour. The Nourish Spot Hour is brought to you by the Nourish Spot, a healthy food and beverage haven here in Southeast Queens. I own it. It's a family-owned operation. I'm in business with my two children, Owen, who's 30, and Jade, Elise, who don't want me to tell them about her age. So, but she's the baby, okay? And we're happy to provide the neighborhood with fresh fruit and organic vegetables, designed to make you live a longer, healthier life. Listen, I actually attended an event yesterday at the United Nations. It's called Idea Gen. And one of the things that they talked about was food insecurity.
What is that?
Food insecurity is living in communities where people don't have access to fresh fruits, vegetables, and clean water. And most of the things that they have access to are fried. And that's most African American and I would say poor neighborhoods, right? So we're really happy at the Nourish Spot that we're actually helping to address food insecurity issues. It really helped me out yesterday. And meeting all these people led me to believe that having the Nourish Spot is not just about feeding people. It's also about being a community gathering spot where people can share ideas, people can share jobs, they can talk about things that they're wrestling with that maybe somebody else can help them with. So it was really interesting to be there. And it just made me know that the work that my kids and I are doing in the neighborhood is so worthwhile, and we gotta keep on doing it, right? And the same thing with you.
Yes.
The work that you're doing to bring, you said his name is Sean?
Yes.
Sean, say his last name again?
Who, you're talking about?
The guy that made the statue.
Sherwin. Yes.
Sherwin Blanchard.
Sherwin Banfield.
Sherwin
Awesome
Blanchard.
young man, from the Caribbean, lover of hip hop, came to this country, fell in love with hip hop, watched video music box as a kid, was sucked in everything that we were doing here in New York.
And he's a sculptor.
And he's a sculptor.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I can't wait myself to come and see the exhibit. I'll be at the library on Thursday to support. But before we end, I want to ask you a couple more questions. One of the things I ask every guest that comes on the show, so you have to answer just like everybody else, is what do you do to nourish yourself? How do you nourish yourself? How do you keep yourself going? Because as you mentioned earlier, you're a man that's involved in a lot of things, okay? So how do you nourish yourself?
I have to take myself to, first of all, it's rest. That's very important because when you're an entrepreneur, you jump on different things, like 10 different things in a day.
Yes.
And my brain can't take 10 different things sometimes in a day. So I have to go like, I'm what they call a napper. Okay. So I'll take my little nap and take a break and go, all right, I'm good. And then I'll go into the next thing.
Okay.
Like before I came here, I told you we were loading in the sculpture and I did something else after that. And then I knew I was going to come see you.
Right.
So I was take a little nap.
And then I heard you got a party tonight too.
Then I got a party tonight too. So all of these things, that I need to just stop thinking and just clear the slate and then start over again. And that's, from day to day. Like stress is one of the biggest killers in our community.
Sure is.
And I used to worry about something that I have no control over, or think about something that happened. I'm holding a grudge. Like,
gotta let it go.
I'm going to burn that dude's house down. Like, I used to be like that. And then I'll be like, yo, what are you doing? Are you crazy? So stop thinking like that because all we got is right this second,
Right now.
That's all we got. I don't know what's going to happen when I leave you.
That's true.
You don't know what's going to happen when you leave.
No.
So why are we thinking about it?
I'm going to tell you, I heard two things. So yesterday I heard somebody say, I'm not next, I'm now. I'm like that. Yeah. Okay, so that's why I deal in the moment.
In the moment. Just 4 walls around us is what we have.
Because that's all we have, right? Because tomorrow is not promised now. And I try to tell my children that all the time, because when you're young, you think, I'll do that tomorrow. You don't even know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. You just assuming that the sun's coming up for you.
How many people used to pass away? I was just with them.
Just last night.
Right.
What do you mean they're gone?
Right.
So one of the things I do, because you and I are about the same age, a little bit older than we have chance. One thing I do, I'm gonna tell you, in the morning when God opens my eyes, I be like, yo, thank you, Jesus, another day.
That's right.
Because I got so many friends that are not here.
That's right.
Right? That went to bed or walked out their door and thought that they were gonna have the next day. And so I am very intentional about planning my days and making sure that each day I do something that makes me happy. So I would say this to you. What do you do outside of all this music stuff, okay? I know you have a family. What do you do to make yourself happy? How do you keep yourself joyful?
I think for me, music is, not like working doing music, like listening to music or going to see somebody play music. If it's really what I'm into, not like, we're inviting you to this music event, like, nah, it's something that I really want to see. Like, I used to go see Gil Scott Heron. Gil Scott Heron was my dude, right? And Gil's like, his music was incredible, but he had this dark side, and I knew it, he knew I knew it, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'd be like, but once he got in front of that mic and he started talking,
it was like that part didn't exist.
This dude was incredible, and I used to look forward to that. We used to do it every Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. We would have this thing at SOBs, and it would be Gil's night, and he would do, his whole thing, and I used to be like, man, and so when Gil passed, I was like, man, I'm tight right now. Like, that was my dude. Just listening to his voice and just, getting his vibe, and just knowing that me and him saw each other, even though he was going through whatever he was going through, I just was like, and I did the same thing with Pop, with Tupac, and I did the same thing with Old Dirty.
Oh my God. I knew him personally too. Yeah, he was something.
Old Dirty was getting this thing, and I just look back at him like, yo, dog, I'm here. So cut it out. Cut it out. I know what you're doing. And so, those real type of situations, not work, I really enjoy. And
So tell us, who's one of your favorite artists now?
now,
Yeah.
right now,
And you have R&B, you can have hip hop. Who's your favorite artist?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
So who's on your playlist?
I listen. Okay, so you know, I like to the artist that right. See, because we're talking about right now.
Right now, not yesterday. Right, not yesterday, not tomorrow.
I like
right
this kid, the baby. I think the baby. I like the baby.
You know why you like him? I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying I don't. But why you like him?
I think the music, the way his tone,
Okay.
I think is dope.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, like, he's developing.
Okay.
And he's going somewhere. But that's, you know, I'm like, yo, that's me. You
Okay.
know,
So what about a female artist?
female artists, Cardi is the thing.
Oh, she
Cardi is the thing.
Cardi, if you watch, I want you to come to Queens and come sit right here. Right here. I would love to have you here. Yes, Cardi is bomb.
I can't, I'm sorry, I'm saying Nikki, I'm in Jamaica, Queens, I'm saying, but.
Nikki just said she giving up music. Did she say that? She said she giving up music.
Hey, look, Nikki is the queen, so.
Yeah, listen. South Jamaica and the music that we produced over the years, I'm telling you, it will be it is historic and it will be in history books. And so that's why it's important for the new artists of today to remember to pay attention to the roadmap that the earlier artists left.
And I think they want to know, you know, like, I don't think like young people want to hear like, you don't know nothing about this. They want to know, but they want to figure it out on their own terms.
Right.
Like, you know, I don't know what you tell me.
That's true.
I'm just going to
Google it.
Fam.
Well, see, we didn't see, that's the other thing. We didn't have all of that. So that's another thing that I have to remember, you know, because when I sit and I talk to my 30-year-old or my 20-something-year-old about music, you know, sometimes they give me that side eye, right? I'm like, listen, all the stuff I listen to now, it's not new.
Right.
We did that.
Yeah.
We started that, okay? And actually, our parents started that because a lot of that music came from James Brown and all that sampling. It came from all that old music. So they're not really doing nothing there. They think they are, but they're not.
If you listen to, I just watched this documentary on Motown on Netflix, and the guys who made the Motown records, and they talked about, like they were talking about Marvin Gaye's album, and how Marvin Gaye, you know, this is after him doing the, like, you know, the traditional Motown sound, how it got to the 70s, he wanted to do more revolutionary music, because that's what was going on in the world.
Right.
And the layers of stuff that he put into making that sound come out, you know, and he did like most of it. Like, you know, Stevie said he called me, but he didn't tell me what it was.
Okay.
And this is Stevie Wonder.
Right.
And he blew Stevie Wonder out the box. And Stevie was like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be that.
Right.
You know, and so create that. You know, create different levels of this. Don't create just something that's going to play on the radio
today,
and we don't hear from it, you know, a year from now. Make it be classic.
Exactly.
Make it be something that people then want to record it like you did.
Exactly.
What did you do to record that? How did you make that sound? You know, is that what, you know, what are all these things that you put into, you know, do that. You know, because and mind you, these were instruments.
Real instruments, exactly.
These are human beings.
Exactly.
Like,
not a beat machine, not a drum machine.
A human being is not going to do the same thing twice.
It's true.
So you have to really know what you're doing to get a human to do this over and over and over again and get the right thing. So create that, you know, and do it with the machine, because, you know, we're in the computer age.
It's true.
Master the machine and make it something special.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Nourish Spot Hour. I am Dawn Kelly. The Nourish Spot Hour is brought to you by the Nourish Spot, and we are open now at 10705 Guy Arbor Boulevard. If you can't walk in, contact DoorDash, Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, or Seamless, and they will bring your food straight to your door. I'm really happy that I am, well, one, I'm really happy that my Rolodex is vast.
Yes.
Okay? And I would say this, that my relationships are strong, and the people that I know, we have good relationships because I have integrity, right? And that's another thing that matters, right? People wouldn't have called you to ask you to do videos, to ask you about different, stars or musicians if you didn't have integrity, right? And that they didn't believe that your word was your bond, right? Like, young people don't know, but some of the sayings that we said, they come from real life, things that we did. So I want to ask you, I remember that club that we had on, I think it was on Merrick and Linden. What's it called? Paradise?
Paradise? Merrick and Linden?
It was Merrick and Linden. It was a club, and that's where the man, Jamaica Funk, Tom Brown, that's when he actually debuted Jamaica Funk.
No, I never went to Paradise. I went to a lot of places on Linden. I opened up the Encore.
I remember Encore.
Yeah, we opened that club.
Okay.
I built that club.
Okay.
Physically built it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Yeah.
What else have you done that I don't know?
Oh man.
The good stuff, Ralph.
There's so much, I used to coach basketball teams. A lot of the guys that they're politicians now and all these people.
Really?
I used to coach them as kids.
Wow.
When they go coach, they still coach me.
That's nice. That's
Before
nice.
I even got to the music thing.
That's nice.
But yeah, there's so many places like you just mentioned. Like I remember, when we opened up Encore, we had Anna Gardner. She did Heartbeat. And right, yeah, and all these different, the old spots where you could rent it out, like Paul's, like the Fantasia.
That's it, Fantasia.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that was it. That was the thing. Yeah.
And all of these places that we used to go to, and just was happy to play our music. Because I was a DJ back then. I just wanted to play.
Right.
Like, just let me get on.
Right.
And you go back home and you rocked it.
You did, yes.
You did your thing, and you're like, okay, what are we gonna do next? Wait for the next one. Because back then DJs, we played in between the bands. The band was the entertainment. And the DJ was like, okay, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back in 15 minutes. We can wait for 15 minutes.
Right.
So we only have 15 minutes to rock out.
And then the people go crazy and didn't want the band to come back on.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's what would happen.
And so the band hated on us. The band was like, yo, we don't like them.
We don't want them back.
Too much over there.
So what's next for you? What's next? What's next?
I think that the film thing is cool, and I'm gonna do more.
Okay.
Myself and Nene talk on a regular basis. She's a mentor. Younger than me, grew up watching me, but when she talks, she knows her stuff.
Right, and we can learn from everybody.
Yeah,
Anybody, right?
Yeah, anybody. You could be, a 20-year-old.
That's right.
Okay. So, in fact, nowadays I learn more from young people than from the old people.
And listen, that's good. I feel like you should be, if you have something to teach me, I want to learn it, and I don't care how old you are.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some more films.
Okay.
Some documentaries. I like do a bunch of documentaries now that I'm part of.
Okay.
Like I license footage.
Okay.
So a lot of these.
Oh, right, because you got the video footage,
Yeah,
right? Your archive. Where are your archives?
They're around.
Those archives are money. They
So
worth
the
money.
archives is so like we have now Hip Hop Evolution is out. They're from Canada. They're on Netflix, a regular show. We do a lot of stuff over there.
Okay.
I do a lot of TV Untold.
Oh, the Untold Story? Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah,
Oh, wow, that's unsung. Unsung. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, for years we've been working.
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent.
There's another one coming out that Questlove has. That should be coming out soon. It's like favorite songs or something like that. Any documentary that's out, the Wu-Tang, quite obviously, the Mice and Men, we part of that.
You got your thumb in there.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, Nas Illmatic, Tribe Called Quest documentary. That's all my footage. We're involved with a lot of stuff.
That's good. So now, do you think that maybe at the library, maybe you could establish something around filmmaking? Or do a film festival or something like that?
I haven't brought that up. We did like a year ago, do this like hip hop film night where we showed old hip hop films.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't really take it too much further than that.
Okay, so maybe
the
we can
process.
talk about something there. Yeah, because I think that would be a great thing. Maybe you can bring Mimi over
Yeah.
and do something like that? I
He
think,
loves that, yeah.
I think that a lot of people in the neighborhood would love to come to something about filmmaking, because you know everybody got a story to tell.
That's
Even
right.
myself, I have a story to tell.
Yeah.
So it would be great to do something like that. So thank you. I guess we need to wrap up the show. I don't want Ralph to go, but he has to go back to, he has to go
It's
back
Uncle
to,
Ralph, if you gotta go over a few minutes, no problem.
he has to go back to his life, and I gotta go back to the nourish spot. So Ralph, I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You know, I appreciate
I'm glad we're
you.
doing this.
Glad we're friends,
Yes.
and I look forward to hearing from you guys about other guests that you would like to see on the show. And if you're in Queens or in New York on Thursday and you're looking for something fun to do, go on to the library, okay? Come on out to Queens, come to the Central Library on Merrick Boulevard and 89th Avenue, and come see
A cipher in
a
Queens.
cipher in Queens. I just love, I love the name.
Yeah,
too,
that's
okay?
Sherwin. He came up with the whole concept. Sherwin, it's called A Cipher in Queens, and it was a tribute to the fallen artist, Prodigy from Mobb Deep, Jam Master Jay from Run DMC, and Fife from Tribe Called Quest. And he just was a kid growing up and liked those artists, and he picked those 3 artists.
Well, congratulations, bravo, Sherwin. I hope to meet you, and maybe one day I'll bring you on the show too. So with that, we're gonna wrap up the Nourish Spot Hour for this hour. And we hope that you all take very, very good care of yourself, because you know you are what you put into yourself.